Hey everyone, Jess McCarthy here. Actually, I'm down in the corner. What I'm going to do is be taking you through a little trip I had with my son to the zoo yesterday and kind of what we went through. And I recorded quite a bit of time with him, and I just wanted to walk you through this. So press play and we'll chat about it. And I've got some notes here on the right, but I'll be talking about those in a sec. Here we go. So first of all, you can see there's little birds walking around. There's an area out here. Oh, and if you're listening, you're going to miss out. So this is going to be a YouTube episode. So what I did is I took him out of the stroller, and this is a kind of relatively safe place, which we'll chat about at the zoo here. And I just said, I'm going to let him walk around, choose where he wants to go, and I'm just going to follow around. And I was already doing this, but then I said, you know what, let me take out my phone and record this and just see what happens. See what Ragnar is up to. The lady just walks by and apologizing for going under. Anyways, so he's got the stroller, and the stroller's on green, so he can move wherever it wants to go. And you could see he just decided to play around with it. In Montessori, kind of one of the approaches I think is amazing. We call this following the child, or just really observing. This point up here, follow the child, observe. So I was using that idea and just being like, let me just let him go for it. As long as it's not something serious injury could occur, and we'll talk more about that. But as you can see, little birds are walking around while Ragnar's doing this. And we're at the zoo, and there's some pretty gnarly animals at the zoo. But right now, as you can see, if we're following the child, he's interested in playing with the stroller. Cool. Let him do it. Oh, and there goes a squirrel. And this is the kind of thing that I think occurs when we're not taking charge and leading the way. Like, I'm not saying anything right now. He sees the squirrel cruise across, and what he wants to jump up. You see, I don't know if you see it up there, but just jump down, and now he's going to follow the squirrel. I didn't say, look at the squirrel, Ragnar. Like, he's just observing. If he sees it, he sees it. Cool. This was fascinating because I saw this occurring, and he doesn't yet know how to walk down the steps on his own, and I've got the camera in my hand, so I'm not, I can't jump at it immediately, but I was, a little bit concerned, maybe fall down the steps, but I thought, give him some space, see what he does. And if you notice, he turned himself around because I think he realized there's no handle left over there. So he didn't try to go down and potentially get injured. So another point I want to make throughout this video, and you can watch as he's, nothing crazy is going to happen right now, but is this point here on the right, chill, or CTFD, which I just made up. It's like, calm the F down. Right. And I'm not talking about just you guys out there. Like, this is me too. Like, calm the F down. Like, and not just, oh, I'm scared he's going to hurt himself, but me, like, I always want to be the one commenting, like, oh, look at that, Ragnar, dude. And it's just, it's been, how long is this? It's been 2.5 minutes. I haven't said a word, not one word to him. So he's just cruising on his own, doing his own thing. So the chill, CTFD. And I'd written down here, safe environment to the extent possible. Now, I'm not going to chill if there's nails everywhere and, the potential of, I don't know, like I said, a tiger eating him. And you can see even on the steps here, I'm not too far away. So if something happened, I could jump at him. And these aren't like, hardcore drop where he's going to really get injured. But we'll wait for a moment. I want to show you, see what he does. So one thing I've learned by chilling and just following the child, observing and just relaxing, is that children, often they know their limits. I'm not saying all the time, we got to be around. If there's like a cliff and he's about to fall off, I'm there. But, often they actually know their limits before we have to go, oh, be careful, Ragnar. Like, we don't need to do that. And I've learned that, with my own child, and definitely over the last 20 years working with so many children, is I usually want to jump in. And save them, protect them, and often they don't need my protecting. They don't need my saving. They actually need me to get the heck out of the way and chill out. I love this quote by Helen Keller. Life is a daring adventure, or nothing. It's like life has risks. And we don't want to put our children in front of like insane risks where to potentially would die. That for sure, no. And you notice, he's calling out at me like, come this way. So I just followed him because I know my son, and that means come this way. So we're at 4 minutes in. I haven't said a word. I said a lot to you guys. Maybe I'm talking too much. So I'll keep my mouth quiet for a moment. And we had just seen a turtle down there that he spotted, and it was hard to even see this turtle. And now he's clearly going back to see if he can find it again. one of the things I love about getting out with Ragnar, and we go to the zoo probably once on average every 2 weeks because it's just such a cool spot for him to look at animals but also do this kind of exploring, is that you run into random people. Like this couple, like, what is each person doing? Everybody's so different. Some people are like, what the heck are you doing letting your kid walk around? And others are kind of like, oh, that's so cute, and they want to talk to him. Incidentally, on this note about calm the F down and chill, when we first got there yesterday, and I'm not talking trash, I just want to put something out there. There was a mom with her grandma, and they had twins, the mom's twins, and each of them had attached to them one of those, I don't know, like almost dog collar things where they walk their children. And what was wild is it had butterfly wings on it. I was like, that is, I'll come back to that, but look at what he's doing here, if you notice. So now he's exploring with some screws down there. And I think we're in South Florida here. This is in West Palm Beach. So I'm imagining those are like, storm windows that would come up over there. There he goes, cruising around. Anyways, to end that story about the butterfly wings, it was just this weird juxtaposition of like, the straps had butterfly wings on it. So like, oh, my little butterfly. And then they were the children being pulled by their parents. Like if they ran off, the parent would just tug back. Whereas you can see, if you just give some space and let your child go, and those kids were like 2.5 years old, 3 possibly, it can be safe. You just have to be around. Some birdies. And here, I gotta tell you, what's going through my head is like, is this appropriate that I'm letting him kind of pull at these leaves? But first of all, in South Florida, there's a lot of shrubs and trees and nonsense like this all over the place. But they were already broken, if you can see. So they had little cuts on them and so forth. So I thought, oh, that's fine. You can pull these. I would not let him just start pulling a real, the tree that's alive and like the ones up here. Like I wouldn't let him do that. But here, we have an acre and we have a little schoolhouse at our home, and he's picking up trees and plants, not full trees, but plants and shrubs and so forth all the time. Okay, so it's almost 7.5 minutes in. I have not said one single word to him. I haven't interrupted him. I'm just letting him go. So you can see how much this exploring, like he's getting to know different things, how things act. Oh, and see this family walk. And observing other people. So he's given the chance to observe. And observation for us is important, but for the child, it's hugely important, right? Just a quick note there. As much as we can get our kids around older children, younger children, all sorts of different people, the better, so they can see, well, how do they do it? You see those kids running down the stairs, that type of thing, so you can see. Now we're 8.5 minutes in. Now, I don't know what type of patience you have as a parent. I could not always do this. Let me tell you. Like sometimes I'm in the mood to chill out, and he could literally have gone on another 20 minutes, and I would have been fine. But there's other days I want to just be straight with you guys where I'm like, we got to get going. So the only thing I would say is ensure you have moments like this where you can have some patience and let your child explore, because I got to work with this. Some days I don't want to do this, and I have to go, okay, let me chill a moment and let me just let it happen. And if I can't do it, sometimes I'll, have a family member, or, we don't have a nanny or anything, but if I can get somebody else that wants to do this with them and I want to go work that particular day, that's what I do. I change it up. But we got to give children the freedom, obviously within limits, they can't go everywhere, to explore like this. This was another moment, if you're a parent of whatever age child, should I let him do that? Should I not? I thought, well, let's just see what he does before I go jumping in too quickly. even that I think was too much interruption. Like when I thought it'd be cute to like, oh, look through there. And I think he was like, I don't want that right now, dude. Get out of my face. Hey, Ragnar, let's head over and see some of the animals. Okay, if you look at the marker, that's 10 minutes right there. It's the first thing I said in 10 minutes. And I got to tell you, he wasn't having it. Like, he wasn't like, no, but he wanted to keep playing, as you'll see. Keep exploring, keep playing. He wasn't saying no, he was saying, whoa. Not that he wouldn't say no, but he definitely will say no at times. Oh man, I love when he chases the birds. Okay, and then I kind of spliced this in. This was a later filming. He was playing with it, and then kind of I'm running off. I wanted to put this in. Let me pause it real quick so you can see. He goes off the path, and you know, as an adult, you definitely are not supposed to be doing this. So I just want to put something in that I happened to catch by chance, where it's like, okay, what do I do now? Because he's doing something he really shouldn't be doing. And I'm just telling you, as I was going, I was like, okay, what do I do? And this is how I approached it, and we can talk about it. Hey, Ragnar. Hey, let's put that down. This is not ours. That's for the zoo. We didn't come over here. There we go. We got to stay on the path. There you go. There you go. Okay, so just really briefly, that's not always going to work. You know, sometimes he's going to be, I want to be there. And then I might do some empathy, you know, like, oh, you really want to play with those branches or whatnot, those palm fronds. But we got to get over here. I'd always try to do some empathy first, but in this case, I was kind of reading my son and realized it probably wasn't even necessary. But I'm the kind of person that, like, if we're at the zoo and there's these, you know, you can walk off like this, but you're not really supposed to as an adult. It's the same rules for the child. Like, I can't just have him crawling through things and, I mean, look kind of beat up over there. But the point is, we're not supposed to be in there. So that's my limit. You know, that's my freedom within limits. I'm not the type of parent, or I don't believe that Montessori or any approach where I think is good would just be like, oh, do whatever. You just follow the child, whatever he wants to do. Like, no, definitely not. And I kept this last part in because I wanted to show you what happened afterwards as well. So that other boy came over and just wanted to give him a hug. I turned the camera off. I was going to keep it going, but then I was like, maybe this is weird. I'm filming somebody else's children and maybe they don't want that. So I just turned the camera off and kind of faded off here. So basically that's it. That's all I wanted to get through. Oh, I wanted to tell you a little bit more about this, but ultimately, this love and understanding, we can't just, Montessori talked a lot about this and I agree with her, is that we're going to be in trouble if we just focus on love only. All of us love our children. If you don't love your child, I mean, that's like the rare case. And that's a whole different story. But we got to have understanding. And this is what she said about that. Quote, "If we are wise, we shall mix understanding with our love. It is marvelous how courageously this tender small child asserts the inner principle of his growth against adverse conditions. But he is using valuable energy to do so. If we hinder him, he fights against us. If we are unwise in our loving, we set ourselves in the opposite camp. But if we are wise, we watch his development with understanding, we gain his confidence, and we share in the full joy of his happy childhood." And that's Maria Montessori from a book I highly recommend, Maria Montessori Speaks to Parents. So I got to tell you, I'm just going to be straight with you. Ragnar has been pretty amazing. Like, and I'm telling you, we have this approach of letting him, you know, go within boundaries, of course. There's all sorts of other stuff we do, but our love is not like always, oh, I'm going to go up and cuddle him, even if he doesn't want that. If he doesn't want that, hey, this isn't the time. I know I want it, but we got to mix our love with understanding, which is, hey, it's his time, right? Let's not get in his way. Let's not fight against what he wants. Anyways, there's a lot to say on that, but I kind of wanted to make this short and sweet, so I'm not going to jump too deeply in that. So closing up here, the sum up is that we got three things from this kind of Ragnar at the zoo that I thought were important. And I'm continually learning. Again, I've been in this for 20 years, and I mean, thousands of children and parents, and I'm still learning every day. But here I would say, we got to follow the child, observe. What's he interested in? What does he want? Maybe I'm like, oh, look at these crazy big monkeys or chimpanzees that are here. And he just wants to play with the cart. Or he wants to play with some palm fronds. What's the problem? Why do I have to push him towards what I want him to go to? So follow the child, observe. Chill, calm the F down. Okay. That can be for a parent who, overly wants to help, overly wants to get involved. Or it could be for somebody who maybe the chill thing needs to be like, you need to chill and observe. Is your child asking for you to come? That one moment when he gave this noise, Ragnar did like, hey, get over here, Dad. I want you to see this. And if I'm available, I'm going to get over there. Right. And then love and understanding. So that's it. I did want to tell you guys about, if you've been following my work or the podcast and so forth, something new that I did. Let me see if I can pull that up. Gotta put in a. All right. So this is the Montessori Club that I recently started up. It's pretty cool. I'm not going to go through everything. I'm just going to tell you. It's called the Montessori Club. I'll put a link in the description. Basically, it's a place where teachers and parents can come and chat about things. A community, like a feed where you can post stuff and chat about different things that are going on. If you wanted to, add a comment, say something in here, and you wanted to comment. See at the bottom. Wow, there's so many comments here. You got to be a member first. So I think it's $9. Yeah, I made it $9 a month to join. I'm trying to make it inexpensive so anybody who really wants to join can make it happen. But also in the classroom, I have an intro video, so I'm not going to go through all this. But the reality is, go there, check it out, see what you think. One of the things that I love is that we're going to be having a happy hour, which is going to be a lot of fun. So that is next. If you are listening to this, I don't know what day you're listening to this, shortly after Thanksgiving, but this first happy hour is December 6th. So hopefully see you there. And again, I'll put a link to this club called the Montessori Club. And that's it. I think that's all I had for you. Happy hour. Yep. Adios. You see what I got here? I got to remind myself. Say goodbye. Good talking with you guys. And we will talk soon. Any questions, comments, etc., you can head over to the Montessori Club. Again, I'll put a link for that, or MontessoriEducation.com, which I run. And again, I'm Jesse McCarthy. Take care, everybody.